When a mom discovers her son's horrifying secret. All right, new JCS. Let's go. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, click subscribe, click like. We're giving away 1,000 V-Bucks. Okay? We're giving away 1,000 V-Bucks. All you have to do is subscribe and like this. All right, let's go. New JCS.
We're going to search outbuildings, trailers, everything.
Okay, no, we have the guns because those kids are here.
Okay, just shut up.
Am I really gonna get arrested right now?
You know how long it's gonna take? I have plans.
What type of audiobooks do we listen to?
The serial killer ones.
The serial killer ones?
On the morning of March 12, 2022, 18-year-old Naomi Irian suddenly vanished from a Walmart parking lot in Fernley, Nevada, after a strange man pacing around the corner got into her car and drove away with her. With only a hazy CCTV video to rely on, investigators race against time to try and identify the mystery man. When they do, nothing can prepare them for the truth behind Naomi's sudden disappearance. This is the exact moment Zulema Silas realized that the truth about what really happened to the missing Naomi Irian had been uncovered. The following footage has never been seen before.
Do you need a minute?
We got the exclusive right here. Okay, shout out to Explore with us.
There's some Kleenexes right there for you.
Well, I am sorry. It is really difficult to be hearing all the stuff that they're saying about you, everything that I am remembering about you.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, come on, I can't. I've got wrecked shoulders.
As best you can.
On the morning of March 13, 2022, the Lyon County Sheriff's Office receives a distressing call from Casey Valley. He informs them that his 18-year-old sister, Naomi Irian, hasn't returned home since she headed to work the day before. He explains that he tried calling her multiple times but couldn't get through. He also checked and there's been no activity on her bank account. In an exclusive interview with EWU, Casey Valley explains the incident.
And so she would typically show up at the Walmart parking lot here in Fernley at about 5 in the morning. The bus picked up around 5:15, between 5:15 and 5:20, I believe. She would sit there for 10, 15 minutes, whatever it was. And she would just scroll on her phone for a little while. And as far as I know, at that point, she went to work.
Casey went to bed before he saw if Naomi came home that Saturday night, which was typical for them.
So the next day I wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. She's not home, which is not unusual, right? Because she works so early. It did seem kind of weird to me because, I didn't really see a whole lot of evidence that she had been home that day, but that wasn't really super unusual either. I started reaching out to her at that point, but I wasn't hearing anything back.
After not hearing from Naomi all day, Casey decided to wait up on Sunday for her to come home again. But when she didn't, he called his mom and Naomi's friends, hoping some had heard from her. No one had heard from her since before Friday.
And so I called the police and I attempt to make a missing persons report. The dispatcher said that the deputy was going to come to my house and take the report in person. Rather than that happening, the deputy calls me 2 hours later. He calls me at about 11:30 at night. And I tell him what's going on. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to put out a missing persons report on this. 18-year-olds. She's 18. She can do what she wants. You don't have really any evidence to show that anything happened, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, this isn't normal for her because if she didn't come home today, then she probably wasn't even at work today. I don't know what happened. And she's not answering any of her friends or anything like that. And all of her Snapchats from everybody, she's Snapchat a lot. All of her Snapchats from everybody were not delivered and stuff like that. So it just seemed completely a red flag to anybody that knew her.
Yes! Now!
And this deputy refused to make a missing persons report.
Stunned and disheartened by the complete absence of assistance from the authorities, Casey takes it upon himself to find his younger sister.
Hi. Are you bullying Teddy? Are you bullying Teddy? He's so little. My guy, he's so little. Look at him. You can't bully him. No. No. You can't bully the baby. He's just a baby. He's just a baby. No. Anyways, end of story. I have a 100-pound pit bull sitting on my lap and this thing licking my arm for some reason. And he's eating his own ass.
The deputy kind of got in my head a little bit, kind of gaslit me a bit about, she's probably fine, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. My girlfriend at the time, Nikki, she and I were talking, and she had the idea of, well, we should just go to Walmart and see if they'll let us look at the security footage and just see if she even showed up to work on something. And so that's what we did. She and I went over there and tracked down this.
The fact that the police, dude, how are you even gonna, argue with the brother? He knows her. If he's saying this is not normal, she's not, no one's answering, how are you going to... Bro, I don't understand, bro, how it's not, just protocol. Why is it just... I don't know, bro. Restart, I'm lost? Bro, we're literally a few minutes in. There's nothing to be lost about. There's nothing to be lost about yet, bro.
Security people who were following shoplifters out in the store. I told them what the situation was, and they were pretty sympathetic. So they brought us into their little security shack. It took us like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to just find the right footage, the right angle where she normally parked.
What he sees in this surveillance footage from Walmart makes his blood run cold. Casey knew where Naomi parked because he often saw her car in the same spot whenever he would go to Walmart.
Video quality wasn't great, but I could recognize her car. She was driving a 1992 Mercury Sable. There's not a whole lot of those left on the road these days, but it's pretty distinctive even in a grainy video. I was like, and the time matched up with when I thought that she would be showing up, and I saw the car pull in there. And we're watching this at 4 or 5x speed. So we watched the car pull in. I was like, oh, that's her car, almost for sure. And before we get the video stopped in order to slow it down, the car leaves again. And I'm like, what the heck?
At 5:09 a.m. on March 12, 2022, Naomi pulls over in the Walmart parking lot and waits inside her car. A few moments later, a strange man appears on the other side of the lot. He stares at her car for a few minutes. Soon he begins to walk towards the vehicle and reaches the driver's side. Almost in an instant, he slips into the driver's seat and drives out of the parking lot. Disturbingly, Naomi doesn't get out of the vehicle at any point in the footage. Utterly consumed by panic, Casey immediately calls the sheriff's office once again and informs them about the surveillance footage.
At that point, I called the dispatcher again, and I tell them that I have...
How the fuck did he even do that? Was she... It's either one of two things. One, he opens it, shoves her over and gets in and drives. Or two, she's sitting, she already moved over. Or actually three, he just sits on top of her. Nah, something's weird about this, bro.
Potential evidence of...
Replay it? I want to see that again.
Slips into the driver's seat and drives out of the parking lot. Disturbingly, Naomi doesn't get out of the vehicle at any point in the footage. How the fuck did he do that?
Dispatcher again, and I tell them that I have, potential evidence of kidnapping of my sister, and they send the same deputy that I talked to the night before on the phone. And he shows up about 20 minutes later. And at this point, we have some more video identified, and we have video of the guy standing there looking out from the sidewalk and circling around and going into her car. The police officer sits there and looks at it, and he says, "I don't know, this looks like a drug deal to me."
Okay.
I was like, my sister did not do drugs, and he was just trying to cover his own ass, right? Because he didn't take my report the night before. Basically, he tells me, well, I'm not going to file a missing persons report right now still, but we'll put out a bolo and be on the lookout for her car. I was like, okay, I'm not really happy with that, but if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do.
Despite finding compelling evidence that proves his sister is in grave danger, Casey's repeated pleas for help are not taken seriously, leaving him in absolute despair and isolation.
Basically, I felt so alone, I felt so isolated. I felt like kind of betrayed by the sheriff's department. I felt very scared about what happened to my sister, and I just really couldn't process what was going on at all.
On the other hand, Naomi's and Casey's parents, who were in Africa at the time, struggled to cope with the news. In an exclusive interview with Iwu, Naomi's mother, Diana Arian, shares how they tried their best to help Casey find Naomi.
Early Monday morning, before even it was light, my husband came upstairs because he was getting ready to go to work. My husband came upstairs in tears, and he said that Naomi had been kidnapped. And immediately I was like, what? What are you talking? What? And he said, Casey just called. He saw on a surveillance video someone take Naomi in her car. And then we were holding each other, and we were crying, and we were asking each other, what do we do? What do we do? Because we're in Africa. We're halfway around the world. And one of my husband's coworkers, one of our friends, is an FBI agent, and my immediate instinct was to call him. So that's what I did. I immediately got on the phone and called our friends, and I was not in a state I couldn't really speak, so I handed the phone to my husband.
Naomi and Casey's father went to the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria, South Africa, where he was...
Were people commenting on that woman's teeth? She has braces on. Someone said they're nasty. You can't even see her teeth. She has braces.
I couldn't really...
She has literally braces on her teeth.
Speak. So I handed the phone to my husband.
What are you talking about? You thought that was the color of her teeth? She has grills. Nah, the brain rot is just, it's over, bro. It's over.
Naomi and Casey's father went to the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria, South Africa, where he was working at the time and was able to get an emergency flight to the United States that day. As Casey's father flies into the country, his conversation with the FBI reaped some positive results, as they seem to be taking the case quite seriously.
So the next day, I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just, and I have like a spotlight, and I'm just driving all the roads out in the desert near Fernley, just looking for any trace of her car. And about 9:30 in the morning, I get a call from Lyon County Sheriff's Department, a detective. He assures me that they're taking the matter very seriously. The missing persons report has been filed at this point, and they have every spare person on the force out looking for my sister's car.
2 days after Naomi went missing, the investigators finally take up the case in earnest. They begin with the video Casey found at Walmart. After carefully examining the surveillance footage multiple times, a triangulation and recreation method is used to determine that the person getting into the car with...
This shit doesn't work. You guys did this to me, and I came out 4'11", bro. Okay? This triangular, whatever this is inaccurate, bro. This is not accurate.
Naomi is between 6 and 6 feet 3 inches in height. They also identify that the suspect was wearing a pair of blue jeans, a light-colored hooded sweatshirt, and a face mask that morning. However, since he stood on the other side of the camera, they're unable to see his face or many other details. Naomi's phone number is run through the police database, but there aren't any location pings as it had been turned off. With only one hazy CCTV video footage and a suspect they're unable to identify, the investigators begin by running a thorough background check into Naomi Arian's life. Casey assists by sharing everything about Naomi and his family. Including Naomi, he has 6 siblings who moved to the United States only a year ago after living in sheltered communities in Russia, Germany, and South Africa as a result of their father's job with the State Department.
So she kind of just wanted to come over here and get a feel for what it was really like to be in America and what it was like to be an adult.
I was gonna move out, but then my brother was like, oh, what if you just pay me then rent out the rooms in the house and then you can live here. Ooh. And I'm like, oh, that actually sounds pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. And I would get to stay here. It's a place where I'm comfortable, a neighborhood that I know, easy to get to my work, you know. It's a pretty good deal. It'll be interesting.
You know, kind of get away from the parents, have a little bit of freedom. And the first thing she did when, before she even really got here, actually, was get a job. And she started working for Panasonic.
To find out more, the investigators dispatched some officers to mark out her regular work route. They examined the surveillance recordings from various stores along the route, hoping to identify any peculiar incidents. Although they observed no apparent suspicious behavior, they make a significant discovery while reviewing the footage from a gas station where Naomi had stopped by to purchase snacks on her way to work. In the footage, she's seen wearing a gray sweater, paired with a blue Panasonic t-shirt and gray joggers. The officers take a screenshot of Naomi from the store and submit it to the investigators. This picture potentially marks the last time she was seen before the kidnapping. The investigators release Naomi's details with the picture to the media and request everyone to be on the lookout for the missing 18-year-old. As word of Naomi's kidnapping spreads, Casey sets up several search parties to help find her, and the community in Fernley steps up to assist the family.
The ladies in the local area in my son's neighborhood established a meal train. So we had meals made for us. So our job was to find her. And that was our full-time job. And my husband was out there with the FBI every day. And my son was out there searching the desert every day. You know, we didn't stop.
Despite releasing Naomi's picture and details, the investigators fail to discover any substantial leads. That is, until they comb through the devices she used. Here they find the first hint of a lead. Naomi went on a date with an unknown man a day before she vanished. Naomi had told Casey that she'd visited a thrift store with the man and everything seemed normal. But maybe it hadn't been as innocuous as she thought. Investigators also find out that Naomi had previously complained about being harassed at work. Managers from Naomi's workplace state that they knew about her allegations and had resolved the matter internally. Eventually, it's concluded that this line of inquiry is another dead end. It's around this point that the Lyon County detectives drop a bombshell.
Have you approached it at all?
So I went up to it just to make sure nobody was in it, and that's it.
All right. Did you see any shoe impressions?
No, so I did walk around it just to look at all angles, make sure nobody was in, tucked in or anything. But I was just driving all over looking for it, and as I was getting off here, I saw it sitting there.
They'd found Naomi's car abandoned in a dirt lot near a paint manufacturing company, just half a mile away from the place of her kidnapping. While this was a huge discovery, there was still no sign of Naomi or her abductor.
Fuck, man.
Still, hope is not lost as the area where Naomi's car was found had several stores with CCTV.
Fuck, bro.
The detectives request surveillance footage from all nearby businesses, and begin to review hours of footage from the day of Naomi's kidnapping. They soon find that some of the surveillance had actually captured a spine-chilling incident from the afternoon following Naomi's kidnapping. Naomi's car can be seen on the road nearby and later parked in the dirt lot at 3:30 p.m., 10 hours after her kidnapping. An unknown suspect gets out of Naomi's car and walks on the road. A short time later, at 4:12 p.m., a gray, bluish truck drives by the same road and parks close to Naomi's car. The driver gets out, goes back to Naomi's car, and shifts it to another spot in the dirt lot. Then the driver leaves the car, gets back in his truck, and drives away. Investigators are still unable to identify the unknown driver at that distance.
What the?
And even more concerning is that they don't see Naomi anywhere in the footage. Perhaps he'd moved her to another location by then. There's also another possibility. Is this man the same person as the one they saw in the morning, or were more people involved? Screenshots of the suspect's truck are released to the media, along with a plea asking the community to keep an eye out. What could be seen in the footage, though, helped to identify the truck as potentially being manufactured by Chevrolet. With little else to go on, the investigators visit multiple Chevrolet dealerships in the area to learn more about the vehicle. Every Chevrolet dealership identifies the vehicle as a 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet High Country 2500 or 3500 model, with possible color variations in either a metallic blue or metallic gray. The Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles then sent a list of the same make and model of the vehicles that are in western Nevada. Though at first disheartened to see the list contains hundreds of trucks, an analysis team soon eliminate vehicles that don't match the footage. As the list of the trucks grows shorter, the investigators start verifying where the license plate numbers are registered. One of these addresses piques the...
One thing I would have loved, two things. One, a lawyer. Two, a detective. That sounds like it would be a fire job. That sounds like it would be fun as fuck to like discover, to solve fucking mysteries and shit. You know what I mean? A lawyer, detective. What's one other thing I would have done? What's one other thing I would have done? Maybe like a car salesman. Nah. Maybe. I feel like that you have to like finesse a little bit. Maybe a pilot.
Investigating team's interest. As compared to the other addresses, it looks run down, leaving the investigators to wonder how someone from the residence could afford a 60-day...
I'm not trying to pause, but these dudes keep saying watch Talk to a. Should we just watch that instead, bro? Should I shut this off?
$80,000 vehicle. They soon find out that the truck is registered to Troy Driver, and a search of his name through police databases reveals a daunting array of information. Troy Driver had a substantial criminal history that dates back to 1994.
Oh my God.
It started with animal cruelty at age 14 and turned into a 15-year jail time for assault, burglary, and armed robbery in his later years. He was also a suspect in an assault case out of Elko County in Nevada. Moreover, his height aligned with the potential range of the suspect's height in Naomi's kidnapping case. Based on his criminal history and the truck, Troy Driver immediately becomes a person of interest in the case. He lives with his girlfriend Zulema Silas and her children, and works at a mining company. Checking his girlfriend's Facebook, they find pictures of Troy, including one of him wearing a pair of brown hiking shoes that looks similar to what the suspect wore in the Walmart parking lot footage. With no other leads, investigators strategically placed patrol officers near Troy Driver's residence to keep a close watch on him. The next step is acquiring a warrant to inspect Troy's phone records to determine his location on the day of Naomi's kidnapping. Troy Driver possessed 2 phones, one for work and the other for his office, and an astonishing revelation emerges. The location data for both phones indicated that he was nowhere near Naomi. In fact, he'd remained at home throughout the day. However, undeterred by this setback, the detectives explore a different angle by reviewing the activities on both devices. Their suspicions are confirmed when the report reveals concerning evidence. Despite the location data suggesting Troy's presence at home, there was a suspicious absence of any activity on either phone. This was inconsistent with how Troy normally uses his phones.
Wow.
All of this was still fairly circumstantial. There was no clear link between Troy Driver and Naomi Irian, but the pressure was on to find Naomi. While the focus was on Troy, another breakthrough emerges from the surveillance footage. The same truck seen near Naomi's car is spotted on the highway.
Going home after catching body feels crazy. Anxiety times 100,000. Did we just catch a murderer in the chat? What? Bro, should I report this? Bro, do I need to tell... Wait, hold on, bro. Do I need to tell Kick? Los, the fuck you saying? Chill, chill. Alright, well, he's telling me to chill, so I guess I'll just chill, but... Keep an eye on this guy, bro. Keep an eye on this guy's chats. Keep an eye on him.
And on the opposite side of the Walmart parking lot on the day of Naomi's abduction. The truck owner had been parked in the dirt area of the Walmart parking lot at 4:22 a.m. that morning. But this isn't the most chilling part. Not only were they there before Naomi arrived, the person could be seen pacing around as if waiting for something, as if expecting Naomi's arrival. Since investigators already knew where this person had left Naomi's car on the afternoon of her abduction, they then established a route from that location to Walmart's dirt lot, where the individual had parked their truck. Footage showed them walking back to their truck. And not only that, when the suspect strolled from Naomi's vehicle to his truck, he inadvertently passed right in front of the CCTV camera. The sight sent shivers down the spines of the entire investigating team. It was Troy Driver. On March 25th, a full 13 days after Naomi's kidnapping, the investigators take Troy Driver into custody.
I'll cuff. Just so we don't have to switch. Don't move. Troy Driver?
Yes.
You have anything on you that's going to poke, prod, stab me?
I've got a pocket knife in my front left pocket.
Okay, aside from that?
No.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
Anybody who just has a pocket knife on them should be a suspect. Always. Whatever the crime is, yes, they're a suspect. Yes, it's them. They did it. If you just have a pocket knife. Matter of fact, if you just own a pocket knife.
Pull you over on your right side, okay? All right, put your knee up this way. Whoever's going up to that building, tell them I'll come up with the warrant here shortly. Okay. Will you take a photo of that and then send that to Ty? Say, let him know one's in custody. All right, let's roll you over to this side.
Someone calling you Nick?
Probably.
Try to answer on your phone.
You want to finish searching? Okay. Boss speaking. Hey. We just got him in custody.
If you have more than 4 pockets on your pants, you should be arrested also, as well, with him.
Yep. Did we get the keys to this vehicle?
I don't have any keys.
You don't have keys to this vehicle?
I do. Somebody took them.
Okay, but you did have them on you?
You had like the 2 bags with you? Where are the keys?
You guys took them.
Well, yeah, but are they in one of those bags or where?
No, they were on my belt clip. You guys took the keys.
Okay. He's pretty calm for having a... Yeah, he asked what it was for. We told him not going to tell him at this time, but you are under blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, hasn't said much. Yeah, he wasn't asking questions. He was shocked just due to the abruptness of it, but not, not his first rodeo type. Yeah. So there's your truck keys, correct? Okay. What's that go to?
It's the chip for the office door.
To get in the office door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you take your camera off and go into that truck over there a minute ago?
I didn't take my camera off.
Your camera was sitting on the top of the hood right here when you went over into that
That was
truck.
to crawl back under and grab a tracker.
Okay.
'Cause I couldn't fit with my gear.
Is he surprised?
I mean, I think element surprise, but not overall. He's very calm demeanor. All right, due to the long drive, we're going to get you out real quick. We're going to set you into 2 cuffs, okay? So I'll separate your shoulders a little bit.
After arresting Troy and bringing him to the station, the officers get warrants to search Troy's residence and his mother's, and she's none too happy with this development.
Hello? Yeah. I'll let you get the dogs locked up, and then we'll have a conversation real quick, please.
It takes all this to have a conversation.
And then this is Detective Joyner. He's got a search warrant for your residence. So who else is inside besides you 3 and the other little girl?
That's it.
Just the 4 of you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it going, guys? Can we come on in and make sure there's nobody else in here, and then we'll talk to you on the side, and we'll get what we have to get going, okay? There's nobody else in the house?
Ooh,
Okay.
I answered that.
Yeah. Sir, could you come over here with me?
Yeah.
Rhonda, what do you...
I have a gun on. Do I need to take it off to make you guys not shoot me?
Come over here, please. Come over here, please. We'll secure it real quick while we're talking, if you don't mind.
Just leave it. Just leave it.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, come on, I can't. I've got wrecked shoulders.
As best you can.
That's it.
Ty, you good with them?
Yeah.
I have a CCW.
We know you have a CCW.
You don't have any weapons on you, do you say? Sure. You have any guns or anything on you?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Rhonda, can we go talk, where's a good place where we can talk outside for a minute?
The back porch, I guess.
Well, let's just, that's fine.
You're gonna trash our house like you did the other
No.
Okay, can
Come on over here.
copy of the search warrant,
As soon as we get somewhere, we're gonna have you sit here and look at it. Actually, let's just go over here by this trailer.
I've got really bad knees and I've been up all day. I'd like to sit on that.
No, we have to be safe.
Sounds like she's covering something up, man.
I understand you guys aren't happy about us being here, but we have a job to do.
So do I need to say I'm not going to say anything without an attorney?
Wait, we just want to explain to you. We're not here to question you.
You're not under arrest. You're not a suspect of anything.
We're trying to explain to you guys what's going on.
Oh, we know. We talk to my son every morning.
Let's just stay down here for a minute until they get the house cleared. So here's the situation. We have a search warrant signed by a judge that allows us to look for firearms, okay? And we're going to seize firearms from this residence because we have probable cause to believe that Troy has firearms in this residence.
Oh, not at all.
Okay, just shut up. They can go. They're not going to. They don't believe us. Nobody's in there. You think you're going to believe us if Troy has no firearms here?
Hey, can you hang out?
I'm throwing this away.
Okay. After that, we need you to stay somewhere with us. Okay?
What?
Can you keep the two children occupied on the side for a few minutes?
Quick question. I want to know.
Sure.
Why do I take in our firearms?
Well, we have probable cause to believe that Troy has firearms over here.
But you don't. I mean,
if they're registered to us, you're going to take them.
Well, we're going to take them to the lab and see if there's any DNA or fingerprints that belong to Troy on any firearms in this
there
residence.
Okay.
So if there is some, then you would tell us about it now. We don't have to search the house to tear everything apart looking for anything.
There isn't. Okay.
What do you mean? Tell you what?
Well, how many firearms are in the residence?
Altogether, counting the 22.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the rifle, the shotgun, and
we put them all locked up because we had the kids here. We didn't want guns out when the kids were here.
Okay.
And that's it. We have the one you took. We have your 44.
Yeah. And the
a shotgun and a 22.
Do you have any other firearms in this house?
No.
You're welcome to look. Just don't trash my house.
Well, we're going to search outbuildings, trailers, everything.
Okay. Well, no, we have the guns because those kids are here. I got the shotgun, the 22, and a gun that doesn't even work in the 2-horse trailer.
Okay.
It's locked up there.
Okay. Is there any other firearms here?
We answered that. There are no other firearms.
Asking. I know you're not happy with the police
Okay, but
about this whole
can I just
situation.
answer a question once? I mean, do I have to be?
Yeah.
I'm not unintelligent. I understand what you're saying to me. I answered.
And you have to understand that people are dishonest with us all the time. So forgive us if we ask the question more than once.
Dishonest.
No. Okay. Well,
and you're more than welcome to go search our house, but please don't trash it.
Well, we don't want to.
There's no need to.
Okay, let me ask you something. Did Troy bring firearms over here in the last 2 weeks?
No.
Okay.
I haven't even seen him that way.
No, he came over.
Well, I was shooting horses. So
yeah.
I might have.
Oh, I read that wrong. I thought that said I was shooting horses. I read that wrong.
Missed him.
He came over and helped me with something. I can't remember something I needed help with. And that's it.
Okay.
He rarely comes over here because he's working all the time.
Okay. All right, well, let's have a seat up there on the porch if you guys don't mind, and we'll let these guys take pictures, and then we'll grab the guns, and we'll be on our way.
Not a problem.
After looking through his mother's residence and seizing his car as evidence, investigators bring in Troy's girlfriend, Zalima, and her children for interviews. To their utter dismay, though, there's still no sign of Naomi anywhere.
So we're gonna go to the second patrol car here, okay?
Okay. Are we like in trouble or something?
Were you actually like in the shower?
Yeah, I wasn't, but I had my phone was connected.
Is this kid handcuffed? Is that kid handcuffed? And did she look naked?
The speaker, so I was playing music, and like I thought it was just me and my brother home, and I thought I heard a bunch of yelling, and I was like, let me check just in case, and I opened the door, and they were all standing outside the bathroom, and I was like, what the heck? And they were like, get on the ground. Yeah.
Oh, she was showering. She's literally in a towel. Wait, are they suspects of some? Now I'm confused. Whose kids are these? The kids of the stepdads. Troy's girlfriend. Wait. Troy's girlfriend's kids. Okay.
No, I'm just bored. No, I want my phone. Do you know how long it's gonna take? I have plans.
Am I really gonna get arrested right now?
He's like, what the fuck am I? What did I do?
I'm really getting arrested right now. Wow. Wow. I don't know if it's anything worth checking, but I cleared it. There was no visible bodies.
Yeah.
Nobody armed.
I understand that. We're going to have one of the investigators come speak with you right quick, okay? Yeah, they'll bring him back here, ma'am. Just wait back here, please.
Get over here.
Okay, just wait back here. It's not the reaction from her that I expected if she didn't know anything.
Correct. Was she angry?
Oh, yeah.
At us?
Yeah. She's pissed about the whole thing.
Hey, what's up, Troy? My name's Eric. This is Mike. We work with the Lyon County Sheriff's Office.
What the hell am I doing here?
Well, that's what we'd like to talk to you about and explain to you everything that's going on, okay? Your legal name is Troy. And what's your last name?
Driver.
Driver?
Why am I here?
We're getting into it. Well, oh, yeah, I'll explain to you. I gotta fill this thing out. Where do you work at right now?
I work at LedCorp, but
okay.
People just saw fit to pull guns on me and throw me on the ground in front of my office. So I'm probably not looking at a job. I really would like to know why I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll explain. How long have you worked at LedCorp?
2.5 years.
Okay. Where'd you get thrown on the ground at?
Didn't throw me on the ground. I was told to get on the ground in front of the office in Reno.
Reno? Okay, so you work like at LedCorp in Reno? Criminal record, have you ever been arrested before?
Yes.
What's the worst thing you've been arrested for?
I was arrested when I was 17 for armed robberies.
Did you go to prison for that?
I did.
How long?
15 years.
Holy where at?
California.
Damn. 15 years in prison in California?
Yep.
Do you need anything to eat or drink?
No, I want to get going.
Okay. Can you tell me about any vehicles registered to you?
I have a Jeep, a 95 Jeep.
What color?
Black.
Black. Okay. Is it like a Wrangler or
It's a Wrangler.
Wrangler? Okay.
I have a 2020 Chevy 3500 Silverado.
2020 Chevy 3500?
Yes.
What color is that?
Gray. And I have a 1982 Lincoln Mark 7. 81 or 82.
What color is that?
Black.
Black. Okay. Are you currently on parole or probation?
No.
Okay. All right. So while we're in here, you understand you have the right to remain silent, and you understand that you have anything you say can will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand you have the right to an attorney, and do you understand you cannot afford an attorney won't be appointed for you?
Okay.
Okay. You understand all that stuff?
I understand.
Okay. So have you been paying attention to the news lately the last couple days?
Not really. I haven't been paying attention. Why?
Okay. Are you aware of the kidnapping case involving Naomi Irion?
Yes, I am.
Can you tell me about that?
My girlfriend sent me a Facebook thing on it, and I read that. She was kidnapped, and a truck that looked a lot like mine, they said they were looking for. Is that why I'm here?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you said it, right? You have a truck that looks just like it.
Because I have a truck that looks like that. Am I being charged with this?
Yes. Yeah, you're being charged.
I want a lawyer.
Okay. All right.
No. I want a lawyer.
Troy Driver protests his innocence and invokes his right to a lawyer, blatantly refusing to...
I mean, out of all these that we've watched, this is the only one where we've ever seen someone actually do what you should do, guilty or innocent, is immediately say, I want a lawyer. That's... No matter what, you should never talk to the cops, no matter what, bro.
Speak with the investigators.
Ever.
Still, they uncover that his girlfriend's family had...
Why is this little kid holding a sniper rifle?
at a gathering on the weekend of Naomi's kidnapping. but Troy didn't attend as he said he was at work. To find out more about Troy's absence and his whereabouts, investigators interview Zalima herself. When she's told about the seriousness of Troy's past crime in California, she shares that he and his mother had described it to her as something much less serious. Investigators are hoping that Zalima can help them finally find Naomi, as at this point they still have no idea where she is, or even where to look. It's through this interview that they discover even more disturbing revelations.
But you know what? His mom stuck behind him after everything that he did in California. And he did tell me about that, kind of. I didn't know all the details. He never was. He just said, well, they involved me and convicted me in murder. Like trying to separate himself from like the main thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, they involved me and people told on me and, people like, and that's why I was convicted.
Yeah.
And then his mom, she relocated and everything for him. And then, she like the same story, like, oh, like he's a great kid, but like he was just involved with the wrong people.
Yeah.
But then the more I remember like all the things like I told you that he says and laughs about, like, all the stuff that he has done. And then all the things that he used to tell me that he used to do when he was in prison too. And he's like, oh, you have no idea. I have painted in the blood of men, and it's like,
yeah.
And I was like, it's things that give you chills.
In reality, Troy had an accessory to murder charge. When he was 17 in 1997, his girlfriend at the time shot and killed someone, and Troy pleaded guilty to helping dispose of the body. But this isn't the only disturbing case Troy was allegedly involved in. In March 2021, a year before Naomi went missing, Troy was also a suspect in accusations of abuse and inappropriate touching involving his 16-year-old stepdaughter. While talking about the family gathering from the weekend of Naomi's kidnapping, Zalima explains that following the death of her son's child, she'd wanted her son and daughter-in-law to get a break from everything they'd gone through, and had organized the big dinner to lift everyone's spirits. However, Troy had a different plan for them.
When Troy got home on Thursday night, he said, so tomorrow, he goes, so tomorrow, he's like, are we going camping? And then, because we had planned on going the weekend before that, but I can't remember what happened that we definitely couldn't go. And he's like, oh, but we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. And then I go, I know. And then I go, but they're going through something. And then I go, and I want to be there for them. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, they can come too. And then I said, I don't think they're going to want to do that. And I go, they just, and I go, and then Travis is coming so he can spend time with Jose. And then he said, well, they can all come. Like, we can take everyone. And I go, yeah, this is like very short notice. I don't think so.
A day before Naomi's kidnapping, a deputy had visited their house to serve them with some paperwork regarding her son. And Zalima says that Troy had been quite rude to the officer.
And then she was walking over there to,
talk
to give him the summons. And he lowered his window and she's like, Troy Driver. And he just went like this. And she's like, oh, here's the summons. And he started pulling up the window. Like, she was still talking to him and he started putting the window up. And then he opened the door and she just left. Like, he didn't even let her finish talking, and she left. And then he got out of the truck, and then he walked in, and I was like, oh, and I go, sorry for the welcome home. And he's like, oh, it's fine. And then he just went to where we have
still
our
watching.
desk, and he put his summons on top of mine, and he went to the room without saying anything. I walked in, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, he had a plastic bag of Boot Barn, and he had already put a pair of insulated pants in there, and he was getting something else, and he was putting it in there. And I go, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm going camping, he said. And I was like, oh, and I was like, the kids are coming tomorrow. He's like, well, I'm going camping. And I was like, okay.
I turned around and I got out of the room, and I was a little bit upset that he would leave.
Yeah.
And because he's always has been so supportive and like with anything like that, he always wants to do whatever he can to make everyone feel like better or fix it for them or whatever. And the time it was just not, he didn't care.
Since Troy presumably left for camping alone, he had no verifiable alibi. But that wasn't all. Zulema also shared a chilling story. The couple had a surveillance camera in their garage. Zulema's son had apparently boasted about catching a drink without spilling anything off the tailgate of the truck in their garage, and she'd reviewed the footage. But when she went to see it again, it had been erased. The only person who could have erased it was Troy.
So this is like one of the most sus people ever, and you're dating him? And he's near your children? Got it. Now I get it.
However, he'd forgotten to delete one clip when he returned from camping.
And that video, for some reason, he didn't delete it. It's right there. I was looking at it. He gets home at 7:55 on the 12th.
Okay.
Exactly 7:55.
Okay.
And something that he never does, and I went through all the footage and everything. He has always told me that wherever we are, he never walks with his hands in his pockets because he says, in prison, you always have to be ready for someone to attack you and to defend yourself. So he learned not to, do that. He gets out of his truck and he's walking when he gets home, and he has his hands in his pocket and his head is down. And when he gets in front of my Subaru, he starts turning, and then he just goes like this. And he looks like really sad, really worried, like really, I've never seen him like that. Like his body language is like so, and you can see him when he's coming up, I'll show you if you want, when he's coming up the steps of the house, he looks like he's having trouble, like he's very tired.
But there was more. For the first time since they'd been together, Troy had showered by himself after returning home that weekend.
And then he got up and he said, I'm going to empty out the truck, all the camping gear. And I was like, it's Sunday. And I was like, we can leave that for later. We have all day, I told him. And then the next day, he didn't have to go to work because we were going to go to Alonso's court. And I was like, we have like all this time in the world. And me and him, we watched a show together, a series, Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And we watch an episode in the morning and one before we go to sleep. And I told him, let's watch an episode of Walking Dead. And he's like, no, I gotta clean out the truck. I was like, okay. And you can see him in the video going to the truck, and then he forgets the keys, then he comes back, then he goes back, and he locks the truck and whatever, but he doesn't take anything out. He doesn't do anything with it.
Soon after, Troy deleted all the videos that would have shown him cleaning the truck, something which left Zulema confused. When they'd recovered Troy's truck as evidence, they noticed that he suddenly had new tires, something that they asked Zulema about.
How long have you guys been talking about replacing the tires?
Since he got the truck. Since last year.
Okay.
He didn't like the tires.
So then you guys have been talking about replacing the tires on both vehicles with your tax return ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was time to do that, who called to ask about the truck tires? Did he call or did you call?
He called.
Okay.
He called.
So he called. He told you that he called down here?
He said he called, yeah. And
were you present when he called or no?
No, I had walked inside because he told me I'm going to call and see if they have them. Because he wanted to do it right there. Oh.
Dude, she is like going off, bro. Like, she's saying everything, dude. Like, this is supposed to be your girlfriend. Like, she's just snitching, bro. Like, there's no loyalty here at all. Like, I get it, though. Like, but goddamn, dude. Good for her. But it's kind of like, I don't know. It's you want like a ride or die, You want a ride or die.
Friday when we came back from the dentist, it was around 3 something, and he he replaced the tires, and that's another thing.
I'm gonna see what date that was.
Friday the 18th.
18th. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, she doesn't know that he killed anyone. You guys are saying I'm defending a killer. What? Fuck that guy. I hope he dies. I'm saying she doesn't know what happened.
And he deleted all the videos too of him switching the tire with the spare. All of those are deleted too.
And yet another shocker, it had come to light that Troy had insisted on changing the tires after complaining that the truck had a flat one. But Zulema claims she never noticed that, despite driving the vehicle for the previous week. His claim wasn't helped by the fact that all videos that would have shown the flat tire had been deleted. This pattern of deleting videos was certainly alarming. Troy was hiding something, but what exactly? Zulema had also revealed that Troy claimed Le Schwab, a tire-changing company's outlet in Fallon, near their home, didn't have the tires for his truck in stock, but the one in Winnemucca did. He insisted on getting them replaced immediately, and they made the long trip, just under 2 hours, to Winnemucca for it. Eerily, Zulema wore a sweatshirt that day that read Serial Killer Documentaries and Chill, which represented Troy's obsession with crime and killers, something that would come up soon in the interview. With all of this suspicious behavior in mind, detectives finally bring the real reason they're all there, the still missing Naomi, and the hope that Zulema can help finally find.
Dude, serial killer documentaries fell off after that one with the guy, and his nephew who's kind of special needs. On Netflix, what was that one called? Making a Murder, yeah. Yeah. It kind of fell off, bro.
So, how about when the media hit with this kidnapping? How close were you following it?
Not that close. I saw like 2 different posts, and out of the 2 different posts, the last one, the second one that I saw, I sent it to him because I think that's the one that had the picture of the truck. And I sent it through Messenger, and he didn't reply there. He called me back, actually. Because it was like 4 something, and he was leaving the office, and then he called me back. And then he's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's that girl that's missing. Frankly, I told him, and I go, did you see? And I go, it has a truck that looks like ours. And then like, he's like, no. He's like, I can't see it. I can't look at it because I'm driving. So when he got home, I opened the thing, the post, and I showed him, and I go, look, and then I go, and then because I had been driving the truck that week, I made the joke, and I'm like, did I kidnap this girl? And he's like, don't be joking like that. He goes, don't even be saying that. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Was it like a serious reaction?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, sorry, you know. And then when I showed him the other one where the suspect is seen, you know, when he's walking back, and you can see his face that is black, and that's when he made that joke. He's like, oh, it looks like it's one of your people. And I was like, oh, God, I hope not. And then I go, because, you know, this is like really bad.
They never spoke about the kidnapping after this incident. Zulema shares that once the pictures of the truck had started circulating in the media, she noticed Troy had become nervous about driving it and had asked her to drive instead. It seems like Troy may have gone to Winnemucca to replace the tires because of his fear of being identified in connection with the circulating truck images. But Zulema still isn't quite done. She shares that Troy had a strange conversation with her stepdaughter. The stepdaughter works at an automobile company in USA Parkway and actually took the same bus route as Naomi.
How'd that conversation go?
He was asking how was work going, how does she like it, and And he's like, do you like better driving or taking the charter? And she's like, she's like, I would like better to be driving. I don't like being around people. She goes, he goes, but it costs too much. She goes, it's especially now. She goes, it costs too much. And she's like, and he's like, oh, is there like a lot of people?
Bro, Joe Biden just dropped out of the presidential race. Buddy, what kind of internet speeds do you have, dude? Have you not, bro? And the thing is, that's not even a troll. This guy's being serious.
And then, he had asked, do you guys have it? Because for some reason they leave the Panasonic charger.
Hold on, bro. Stop pausing, bro. We got work tomorrow, unlike you. Buddy, you're witnessing me hard at work right now. Okay? See, unlike you, I don't get to peep in and peek into your work day. You're just watching mine, dude. Dude, I would love to be in bed right now watching Netflix. I would love it. But I'm here to entertain you by watching a video. Aiden Ross, what happened to Aiden? What? Aiden said cord. Dude, listen. My Discord's open, bro. My Discord's open right now. I have it open. I'm logged in.
Park there at the Safeway, but the Tesla one, it drops them off and it goes back. But the Panasonic, they leave it there. Yeah. And then he goes, so wait, do you take the Panasonic or you take a different one? And she's like, a different one. He's like, it's just not there.
Did he ask anything else about him?
No.
Okay.
Or not that I can remember. I was
When did that conversation take place?
about a month ago, probably.
Okay.
It was evident now that Troy had been planning this for a while, but what kept nagging the investigators was that it still wasn't clear if Troy knew Naomi or how he would have come across her. The realization that the man she loves might have committed the heinous act overwhelms Zulema, and she breaks down.
Do you need a minute? Here. There's some Kleenexes right there for you.
Why?
Yeah, I imagine you're heartbroken, like you confided with them in him, you shared your life with him.
Zulema then went on to share a story about how she met Troy on the Ashley Madison website, and it once again confirms detectives' suspicions of him.
Wait, Ashley Madison, wasn't that thing? This is actually a documentary I saw about this. But wasn't Ashley Madison the thing where you can cheat on your wife or your girlfriend? It's like it's literally like a cheating website. It's like an affair site. Dude, be a fucking dude, fire stream idea. Fire stream idea, bro. We go on Ashley Madison, make an account, and we try to catch cheating like wives. So, instead of like the To Catch a Predator type videos or streams, whatever, we're just catching wives cheating. And then we tell the husbands. Yo. Oh my God. Dude, that's a fucking good ass idea. Holy shit. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it tomorrow. Hey, that's tomorrow's stream idea. Lock that in. Matt, let's start setting it up. Use RAF pics. Why can't I use my own pics? If we're not, first of all, if we're not using my pics, then okay, we're gonna use like a fucking straight up model or some shit. Account made already. Bernie, why do you have an Ashley Madison account?
He asked me if I wanted to meet in person, and I said yes. And he told me that he was gonna stop at Taco Bell, and he asked me what I was driving, and then he told me that he was driving a lead core truck, and I met him there. And
that was where?
In Winnemucca. Winnemucca. And we drove out to Rose Creek.
To Rose Creek? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know where that is, but it's outside of Winnemucca, and it's like the rural area, like that's where all the ranches are. We went out there where there was cattle was grazing out there, and there was a water trough, and we sat right there, and we were just talking, and then we went, like he wanted, we were just talking and getting to know each other, and then we went back to his truck, and he told me if I wanted to go to Lovelock with him, and we can go, I don't know, have dinner or whatever, because he was staying at the Royal Inn. That's where Leadcore employees stay all the time when they had the Relief Canyon project.
Okay.
The company put all the Leadcore employees there. We got into his truck, and when we got in, he told me, he's like, I could have killed you and no one would have known. And I thought it was a joke, and I was like, yeah, and I go, but you didn't, so I'm good. And we left it off.
Do you hear it?
No. You.
Hi. I hit it that time. You can see where I hit it.
Safety.
So these ones here, with the revolvers here, yeah, you still got more.
I had also heard from Joyner that he liked to listen to podcasts.
Audiobooks.
Audiobooks?
On Audible. Yeah.
Okay. What type of audiobooks would you listen to?
The serial killer ones.
The serial killer ones?
And the psychology of lying. And the how to beat interrogations, like CIA and like.
Bro, if you on file have watched How to Beat Interrogations, you're literally guilty, bro. Like,
you know about the psychology of how when the CIA or FBI are interrogating you and how to spot people that are lying, like stuff like that.
Okay. Did you ever listen to any of them with them?
Yeah, I did. Like I was telling Detective Joyner, like that's something that even the kids, like, he would put the books, and the one that we actually listened to the whole book all together as a family was the one of Daniel Keyes.
Daniel Keyes?
Yeah, he's a serial killer from Alaska, and he thought it was so cool that he kidnapped a girl, killed her, but he kept her in ice, and she was in such good condition and that she looked alive. And he would take pictures of her, and she looked alive. So he thought that was really cool.
Do you remember hearing anything about that?
And you dated. And no, stop this. And you dated this man. You were with him. Your kids.
involved or anything like that?
Yeah, like he wanted ransom.
Ransom?
Like, yeah,
Okay.
and then he post that girl in a way like she was holding a newspaper, and took the picture and did her makeup and everything, and that's what he thought, that it was so cool that the girl actually looked alive. He went online trying to find the picture so he could show us, but I didn't want to look at it, and the kids didn't want to look at it either.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I was like, but he's like, no, but look at her. She doesn't look scary. She's alive. It's really cool. This guy was really smart.
As she continues to share more concerning details about Troy's behavior, police finally get an idea about how Troy may have seen Naomi.
When he worked in Utah, he stayed out there for a while. He had a couple of women that he was with out there.
Okay. Did he ever say who they were or anything like that? Or
No.
I don't know about social media. Did he ever have them on social media?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of, but he did tell me that he met them on Ashley Madison, that one where I met him, that one website, and he told me that he had met a bunch right there. I don't know that he went out with all of them, or he didn't tell me, but he did say that the two in Utah, he met them there.
Okay.
Now when we met, and then we actually started getting serious. After I met him, like, I think a month after I met him, I deleted completely my Ashley Madison account.
Okay.
And I learned about that from my cousin in California and my sister. They told me about that. And then when I got separated, that's why I got into that app. And then my cousin and my sister were still on it, and I was with him for about 6 or 8 more months after. And my I don't know if it was my sister or my cousin, they sent me a screenshot of him still being on the app.
Now, did it show if he was active on the map? Or
It did, and I asked him about it, and I go, why? Because we had said that we were going to be exclusive. And he told me, yeah, that was it. And I asked him, why did he still have the app? And he said it was just for fun. He said it was fun to see the kind of women that wanted to be with him. He's like, but I'm not responding. He's like, it's just...
What am I hearing, bro?
For fun.
Troy Driver's profile was active on dating apps. The detectives already knew that Naomi used dating apps to meet new people. Perhaps this was how Troy came to know who Naomi was. As the detectives question Zulema further to understand Troy's disturbing interests, they find even more reason to believe he's involved in Naomi's kidnapping.
Did he ever talk about if he would have done something, how he would do it?
Oh my God.
What?
When I lived in Winnemucca, I had 2 clients that I used to clean their houses for. Those were the clients that I had for the longest time. I cleaned their houses for almost 7 years.
Okay.
The mom's name is, she owns a, in Winnemucca, double check. And her daughter is, and her husband, they owned a crushing business in Winnemucca. In December, they said that she committed suicide. This past December. Her mom, my boss, she believes that he killed her because he asked her for a divorce. And when I was going through my divorce, had told me, get your part, like get your half. So I was very upset when they said that she committed suicide. When I called her mom and she told me, no, I think he killed her because she was gonna get half of the business and he didn't want to share the business. And then she started telling me how I was telling her that she was scared and gave her different type of documents about how she was found and everything. And he told me If that was me, I would have done the same thing. And I can tell you that he's not going to get arrested. And he's like, because they're not, you know, because I would have done the same thing. So that is the only time that he has told me. And that upset me. And I was like, don't tell me that.
Before the interview wraps up, Zulema shares one last damning detail. The camping gear was unused from the weekend Troy had apparently left for camping alone. The same weekend Naomi went missing.
When we were in California, because the ones in California, there was one that we went 1,000 feet underground. And that one, he said, like, my God, you can hide a body here and no one will ever find it.
While every lead reinforces their suspicions against Troy, none of it leads them to Naomi Irian. It's now over 2 weeks since Naomi was last seen, and the situation soon evolves into a desperate race against time. In a bid to gather any information that could lead to Naomi, Troy Driver's arrest is released to the media in the hopes this will urge any witnesses to come forward. Soon after, the investigators start receiving tips from several callers. They receive a call from a woman informing them that a man resembling Troy Driver allegedly followed her to the same Walmart parking lot a month earlier. The woman said that she was walking her dogs near a highway outside of Fernley in February when she noticed a car pull up next to hers off.
Bro, I saw a guy type in Trump ear, and I was like, dude, are you trying to insult my ear? Then I looked up at the picture. Look at his ear. It literally looks shot off. I thought that was funny.
Highway outside of Fernley in February when she noticed a car pull up next to hers off the road in the dirt. The driver then tailed her car to a Walmart. If this was Troy, then it established a disturbing pattern of behavior for him. They also receive a call from an employee at the Relief Canyon mine who had been a co-worker of Troy Driver. He informs them that a month before Naomi was taken, a heavy equipment delivery driver arrived at the mine with an excavator that was requested by Troy Driver. This employee spoke with Troy and noted down the address where he wanted the excavator to be delivered. This address was about 16 miles away and led to the Buena Vista iron mine. The investigators pay a visit to the mine, diligently tracing the excavator's path, which ultimately leads them to an unsettling discovery. A shallow, unmarked.
Anyone miss Twitch Los? Do you know what's so insane about that statement is the only difference would be we'd be watching this video is you'd be getting ads. That's the literal only difference.
Grave. On March 29th, over 2 weeks since Naomi's kidnapping, the hollow grave is exhumed and human remains are found. 2 days following this grim revelation, the medical examiners identify the remains as Naomi Irian. Initial findings from the autopsy suggest that Naomi was shot in the back of her head and subsequently shot in the chest after her body had been moved into the grave. An autopsy revealed that she had also been assaulted. The tire impressions discovered at the scene aligned with the set of tires on Troy Driver's truck, the ones he had before they were replaced. And yet another shocker, numerous witnesses come forward to attest that they had seen Troy Driver operating an excavator in the mine's remote vicinity all by himself about a month before the kidnapping. Chat records from Zulima's phone throws more light on this appalling twist. This revelation that Troy discussed the excavator with Zulima solidifies the fact that the crime was premeditated, with Troy having orchestrated every detail a month in advance. It's unclear how much Troy told Zulima, beyond the fact that he needed the excavator, and it's unknown if she knew why. Yet Troy Driver didn't know Naomi Irian. Instead, it seemed that he had meticulously plotted his crime and was actively searching for his victim. Investigators reasoned that he might have selectively targeted certain individuals and tracked their routines to gain knowledge about them. This theory held merit, especially considering that he'd arrived just a few minutes before Naomi on the morning he kidnapped and killed her. In the following weeks, detectives collaborate closely with Zulima to collect evidence against Troy. Despite still grappling with shock and the dramatic upheaval in her life, Zulima assists the investigation to the best of her ability. During one of their meetings at her home, Troy calls her, unaware that the detectives are listening in on the conversation.
And I don't know if you can respond to me, but are you being honest with me? It's like I've been going through the past 2 weeks, 3 a month. What?
So, baby, these calls are recorded. They're going to portray me as guilty, and I'm never going to get out of prison.
I mean, well, how can you say that? Like, if you're innocent, like, I'm pretty sure it could be proven.
You are what I have for strength right now. Hearing you say that you don't know whether or not I love you, that's really difficult.
Well, I am sorry. It is really difficult to be hearing all the stuff that they're saying about you, everything that I am remembering about you. And I want you to know that they've been asking me to talk to them, and I'm sorry, but I am going to talk to them about everything that I have experienced with you. Okay? He's lying. I know he's lying.
In April 2022, Troy Driver was charged with murder, robbery, vehicle burglary, and destruction of evidence. It was confirmed that his DNA was found on and inside of Naomi. He was additionally charged with assault. Further investigation proved that after assaulting and killing Naomi, Troy had burned her clothes, some of his own clothing, and other pieces of evidence. The case doesn't end here, though. About 4 months later, Troy carefully snuck a letter out of prison to his now ex-girlfriend Zulima and her children, hidden inside a deck of cards. Allegedly in the note, he admitted to all the allegations against him and stated things like, "There's always been a terrible darkness inside me. Neither this situation nor any other was sexually motivated. Something happened that I can neither justify nor explain." And even more chillingly, quote, "The guilt is crushing. I didn't know anything about her until it was too late." He also stated in the letter that he wanted to end his life. Troy Driver was put on a watch, though he still made 2 attempts. Finally, on August 6, 2023, Troy Driver made a 3rd attempt and succeeded. Casey Valley and his mother, Diana Irian, both shared with us how they felt about the conclusion of Naomi's case.
To me, the trial was, in some ways, it would have been some closure. In some ways, it would have been some vindication. In some ways, it would have been, closure for the community. But at the same time, I did not relish the thought of dragging my whole family, especially my mother, through that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's never going to hurt anybody ever again. I'm glad he's never going to feel any gratification of any kind ever again. I really hope that if there is any other cases that Driver was connected to, whether there was or there wasn't, I do believe that he would have kept doing this. I feel like it's a net good even though we didn't get that, I don't even want to say satisfaction. It's more like a tiny bit of closure just to hear the gavel come down on guilty. But at the end of the day, it does erode my faith in the current system in some ways.
Well, my first reaction was relief, but that was just for a fleeting moment. Then I became angry, ragefully angry, because now Naomi's story would not be told again. She would not ever have justice. This monster who did this to her would not have to face me in court where I could tell him the monstrous, horrendous thing that he did to our family and the effect that it had.
Today, Casey Valley and Diana Arian believe in keeping Naomi's legacy alive through their actions.
I don't think Naomi would have wanted me to just give up on anything. And I mean, there's plenty of times where I feel like I just can't do it. But Naomi loved family. Naomi loved caring for others. Naomi loved fairness. Naomi loved justice. And she believed that, I mean, and this is like a pretty simplistic thing, but she believed that, you know, if you have a thing that you care about, if you have a goal in life, you should totally pursue it. Like, you know, get after it. So I just think about some of the times where I feel down. First of all, I put everything to the side to ensure that Naomi got whatever justice we could get her. Everything else was to the side. But once Driver was in custody and once we had found her, I knew that there was not a whole lot else I could do. And so I've just been doing my best to live my life in a way that I think would make Naomi proud.
R.I.P. to Naomi in the chat. R.I.P. to Naomi in the chat. And, you know, this is one of those where it's not even, this isn't even slightly entertaining. This isn't even, there's not even like a mystery. It's just, this is just a sick fucking bastard fuck who got out of jail and did the unthinkable. And God knows if there's any other victims. God knows, bro. Yeah. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, if you really watched this whole entire video, if you watched this whole thing, just say yo or hi or hey or what's up, something in the comments just so I know that you made it this far.